Let me show you the part that is gonna fix the issue for you. So this is the engine head. This entire section right here, it's the engine head. And this section right here, it's the cylinder head. So what they did was unscrew everything inside. This is how the motorcycle sounds now without any ticking noise. And I must say, man, when I had the ticking sound coming out of the engine, I could not hear the sound of the exhaust, and it's really beautiful. I mean, all I was hearing as a rider was just the tick, 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 tick sound, and it was so harsh. It was not smooth at all. I could feel it with the acceleration, but now, after the tick, tick, tick sound is fixed, I can hear the exhaust so clearly, and motorcycle sounds like a real thumper, if you know what I mean. So are you someone who's sick and tired of the tick 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 sound that comes out of the engine of Himalayan 450? You're annoyed and you're pissed, and I was too, because you went online, you did your research, and there are no solutions available online for this problem. And when you take your motorcycle to the dealership, they would tell you that it's just how it sounds, it's just the character of the engine. Well, let me tell you, it's not. And yes, there is a fix to this problem, there is a solution. And by the end of the video, I would show you exactly what I did to my motorcycle with the help of the head technician provided by Royal Enfield support team. But before that, I think it's important for you to have all the information and have all the knowledge, so that you do not end up making the mistakes that I did, and those mistakes could be costly. So in short, the solution to the tick 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 sound is changing the engine head of the motorcycle, and yes, it comes under the warranty. And why do you need to change the engine head is because Royal Enfield said that the initial couple of batches of motorcycle, when they launched it, they have this issue where the head is designed in such a way that the valve gap reduces by itself, and you would need to change the shims over and over again. And that's why the company, they have made some modification in the design of the engine head. And that's why when you install a new engine head, it's gonna solve the problem. And yes, that's what I did. I changed the engine head, and now the tick 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 sound, the mechanical noise, it's gone. So before you head to the dealership and ask for the replacement of the engine head, listen to this little story that I have to share, because I believe by the end of the story you would get all the details and you would get an idea on how to approach the dealership. So when I initially started noticing the tick 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 sound, I thought it's just the character of the engine, because there were no significant performance drops, or there were no significant mileage drops either. And my motorcycle was running smooth, so I didn't pay much attention to it. But with the passage of the time, my motorcycle started performing really, really badly, and my mileage was significantly dropped. So then I decided that I need to take it to the service station, and I took it to the service station. But luckily for me, on the day when I was visiting the service station, we had the flyer technician, or you can call him the head engineer, visiting that particular service station where I took my motorcycle to. So what is a flyer technician, or what is a head engineer? Royal Enfield, they have this scheme, you can call it, where they assigned a particular region, or they assigned a couple of cities to one well-educated, well-trained, and really professional technician, and it's his job to look after certain dealerships and to see if they are performing up to the bar or not. And when I took my motorcycle there, he was there to visit the dealership. So I explained to him, this is the problem with my motorcycle. And as soon as I told him this, he said that we need to change the engine head, but before we do that, I would like to change the shims. So he asked the local mechanic to open up the head of the engine and to see what's the gap between the valves inside the engine. And this is the crucial part of information that you need to remember. When you open up your engine head, or when the local mechanics, when they open up the engine head, you need to make sure that the valve gap of your motorcycle for the intake valves, it should be between 12 mm to 18 mm. The ideal one is 15 mm. And for the exhaust, the valve gap should be between 22 mm to 28 mm, being 25 being the ideal valve gap. And in my case, when we checked, the valve gap reduced down to 3 mm and 5 mm. 3 mm for intake and 5 mm for exhaust. And that's why I was having the stalling issue, and that's why I was having the performance issue and all that stuff. So on that day, when we told the head engineer that this is the numbers that we are getting from the motorcycle valve gaps, so he said that okay, let's replace the shims for now, but we need to place an order for the new engine head. The company has made some changes and designed a new engine head for the motorcycles that are having this issue, and it comes under warranty. So we placed the order for a new engine head on that day, and we also changed the shims. And I must say that changing the shims did solve the problem temporarily, but after a couple of weeks I started having the same issue. So we planned a date with the head technician to be there while the local mechanics would be working on my motorcycle to change the engine head. I made that request because I have very little faith in these local mechanics and the way that they work on the motorcycle. So that's why he approved my request, and he told me that yes, he would be there. And the day comes, we get the delivery, the parts that we ordered, they arrived at the dealership. I got a call from them and they said that please do come, let's fix your motorcycle. So I took my motorcycle there, and the head technician was not there. So local mechanic said that by the time the head technician arrives, he's on the way, we can open up the head, and what's the harm in opening up the head since we have the new head to replace it with. And so I said, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem, let's do it. And that was my mistake. So as soon as I told them that, they started opening up the head, and one of the local mechanic, I didn't see that, but they are saying that one of the local mechanic, he stuck the screwdriver in between the cylinder head and the engine head to pop it open. After unscrewing all the bolts, the engine head was not coming off because it requires some sort of gentle strength, but they instead stuck a screwdriver in between the cylinder head and the engine head, and that screwdriver caused heavy dents and heavy bumps on the surface of the cylinder head. So I'm gonna show it to you by the end of the video. I'm gonna show all the parts. If you do not know what a cylinder head is, and if you do not know what a engine head is, I'm gonna show that to you in a minute, but stick with me. So there were bumps on the surface of the cylinder head, and we didn't know at the time that there are bumps. We put the new head on, and we put the entire bike back together, and as soon as we turned the engine on, the coolant was leaking out from the edge of the cylinder head and the engine head. And that's when we knew that something is wrong, because the coolant shouldn't leak out, and the coolant leaking out means the coolant is getting mixed with the engine oil as well, and which is really, really bad. So I made a video of the leakage and I sent it to the head engineer. Well, he was there on the day when they changed the engine head, but because it was getting late, he had to leave in the evening, and that's why I had to send him a video. And he checked that video and he said that today I have to go to another city, but tomorrow I would come back and check everything what they have done. So tomorrow comes, he came and he checked and he found out the bumps, and he was really mad at the local mechanics. But he told me that we are really sorry that this is happening to you, but we will need to place the order for the new cylinder head as well as the new engine head, because there are bumps on the surface. So I had to wait for 10 more days, and my motorcycle was parked at the dealership while we waited for the order to get delivered, the new cylinder head. And mind you not guys, the cylinder head doesn't comes under the warranty, even though I did not pay for that, because it was not my mistake, it was the mistake of the local mechanics working on the motorcycle. And that's why I don't know how the dealership managed those costs, but the cylinder head cost around 13,500 rupees. So the engine head comes under warranty, but the cylinder head does not. So whenever you take your motorcycle to the dealership, make sure that nobody sticks a screwdriver, or make sure they do not use excessive force to remove the engine head from the cylinder head. And to be on the safe side, I would highly suggest you guys to, be in touch with the area sales manager or be in touch with the head technician and explain them the entire situation and request them that you want the flyer technician or the head engineer to work on your motorcycle, because this is really important when you're working on the engine. You need a really well-trained professional to be working on the engine side of the motorcycle. So yeah, next thing, we put the new engine head on, we put the new cylinder head on. The head technician did work on my motorcycle the whole day and he fixed the entire issue for me. But yes, I had to wait like for 12 days for the same thing to be resolved. And whereas initially this was only a work of 4 hours, but I had to wait 12 days. And even on the last day we had to flush out the coolant from the engine, so for a couple of times we had to put the new engine oil in the engine and drain it out using some engine flush. So yeah man, here's your bit of information, and here's your key points that you need to remember. Never let the local technicians work on your motorcycle without the supervision, and always make sure whatever they are doing it right and gently. And I would highly suggest that have the head engineer working on the motorcycle while you are there, and make sure your valve gap is actually what the local mechanics are telling you they are. So if they are telling you that the valve gap is alright and it's at 12 mm, you need to make sure that it's actually at 12 mm and not at let's say 8 or 5 or 3. So just do not just trust whatever the local mechanics tell you, because the head engineer, they are really professional guys and they will look after your motorcycle. So let me show you the part that is gonna fix the issue for you. So this is the engine head. This entire section right here, it's the engine head, and this section right here, it's the cylinder head. So what they did was unscrew everything inside the engine in order to take the engine head off, but it was not coming out, maybe because of the suction and the pressure that's created inside this because of the performance. So what they did was they stuck a screwdriver right here where this gasket is, and they pushed it upwards, pushed it open, and that caused the dents to be on the cylinder head, and that's why we had to change this guy as well. But yeah, this is your part that you need, and make sure you change the shims as well on the day that you are getting this engine head replaced. And this is how the motorcycle sounds now without any ticking noise. And I must say man, when I had the ticking sound coming out of the engine, I could not hear the sound of the exhaust, and it's really beautiful. I mean, all I was hearing as a rider was just the tick 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 sound, and it was so harsh, it was not smooth at all. I could feel it with the acceleration, but now after the tick 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 sound is fixed, I can hear the exhaust so clearly, and motorcycle sounds like a real thumper, if you know what I mean. So this is how it sounds like right now. That's the mechanical sound, but these are not the sounds of the shims or the valves. The tick 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 sound is gone. Alrighty people, over and out. I hope this video was really helpful, and if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section, and I will try my best to really respond to each one of them, and in some cases I would also make some videos if your concerns are legit. And motorcycle runs perfectly now. I feel like it's a 450cc that I'm riding and not some 150cc because of the underperformance. But yeah, man, do consider subscribing to the channel, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you need the notification on new videos. And by the way, the next video that I would be making is gonna be on rev matching. Cheers guys, peace and out.